The poem of Dagang Berjual Beli was written by Tuan Simi in Pabian, Singapore. This area was under British rule as part of the Singapore customs region. This poem was composed due to Tuan Simi's anger and resentment towards the injustices of British governance. It is based on true events that occurred in Singapore after it came under British control. Tuan Simi describes the trading activities in Singapore. The poem of Dagang Berjual Beli narrates the typical situations that often happen in the business world. Tuan Simi begins the story by describing the arrival of Malay and Bugis boats that came to trade in Singapore among the Malay-Bugis and Chinese-Keling merchants. The port was bustling with activity as traders unloaded their goods, ready to engage in commerce. Trading activities involved bargaining and promises to pay after receiving the traded goods. Deals were often sealed with a handshake, symbolizing trust and mutual agreement. However, after receiving the goods, the Chinese-Keling merchants proposed a barter system, exchanging the traded goods for Dutch-made fabric. The Dutch fabric was highly valued and sought after, making it a tempting offer for the traders. This angered the Malay-Bugis merchants as they refused to pay. They instead challenged the captain to report to the English merchants who acted as judges and police in Singapore. This led to a conflict between the Malay-Bugis merchants. The conflict resulted in their detention at the police station. The trial concluded that the Chinese merchant was guilty of violating the business agreement by not paying for the goods purchased from the Malay-Bugis merchants. However, the victory did not favor the Malay-Bugis merchants. The reason for this was that the Chinese merchant would be punished by confinement, but only on the condition that the Malay merchants had to bear all the expenses during the period of punishment. The Malay merchants had to cover the punishment expenses until the Chinese-Keling merchants' debt was settled. If they failed or delayed in paying the expenses, the Chinese merchant would be released from confinement. The Malay merchants were deeply disappointed with the judicial customs ordered by the ruler, and thus withdrew their complaint against the Chinese merchant. This was because it would only cause double losses to the Malay merchants. Therefore, the Malay merchants had to agree to the barter system as desired by the Chinese-Keling merchant. This decision brought joy to the Chinese merchants, who hid their happiness by pretending to be angry and showing a sour face to the Malay merchants. The captain's disappointment grew as they had to be friendly towards the Chinese-Keling merchants. The story concludes with Tuan Simi's advice to merchants: never give goods without receiving payment from the buyer to avoid business losses. His words serve as a timeless reminder of the importance of fair trade practices.